In a Twitter commentary on EastEnders, viewers noted characters' abrupt departure mid-activity. Unfinished ships and a missed bus to Hoxton raised eyebrows, with fans pointing out a deviation from the show's usual alleyway route. The tweet encapsulates fans' attention to detail and familiarity with the series' settings. EastEnders fans floored after BBC announcer pokes fun at cliffhanger. EastEnders fans have been left amused after a BBC announcer poked fun at the soap's cliffhanger on Thursday, April 25. During the latest trip to Walford, Whitney Dean was betrayed by two of her loved ones after her lies were exposed. Brittany Wainwright told Zach that Whitney had paid her mum Keely to unofficially foster her. But as Whitney's best pal Lauren Branning was in the room when Brittany dropped the bombshell, she was blamed for revealing the truth. Pregnant Whitney was livid with her friend and threw her out of the house and publicly lashed out by telling recovering alcoholic Lauren to go and have a drink. Lauren couldn't get a word in edgeways, and it was Zach who set her straight on who had told him the truth, and the pair had a furious row. Whitney added that if she had to choose between her boyfriend Zach or look after Brittany, she would choose the schoolgirl every time. Zach stormed out of their home and headed to Peggy's bar for a drink. Before long, Lauren appeared and looked annoyed as she appeared to take Whitney's nasty words on board as she ordered a double vodka, but didn't drink it. She told Zach he liked to order alcohol sometimes and just look at it. She and Zach had a heart-to-heart, and as they started to bond, Zach decided to leave before he did something he might regret. But he didn't head home. He asked Lauren if she wanted to grab some food. The pair dived into their chips as they had a laugh about their younger days. As Lauren and Zach planned to jump onto a bus into Hoxton, they were seen kissing passionately against a wall. The episode closed with the pair looking like they were undressing one another in the background as the camera zoomed out and focused on their uneaten boxes of chips. The doof moment caught the attention of the BBC One announcer, who jokingly said, "Ah, I can't believe that, what a waste of chips," and EastEnders thought the comment was funny. Taking to X, one person wrote, "The guy at the end of the episode saying about the chips, I said the same thing to my dad at EastEnders #EastEnders, followed by laughing faces." A second stated, "All I'll say about tonight's EastEnders is, what a waste of chips." A third chimed in with, "Tonight's doof is a box of chips OMG, EastEnders they didn't even fully finish eating their chips or get the night bus to Hoxton." Different alleyway, people usually use the one by the side of the Vic EastEnders, stated another. 13 EastEnders spoilers for next week, including Bianca's return, Stevie's comeback, and Yolanda starts a fire. EastEnders spoilers for next week reveal another return for Bianca Jackson, a reappearance for Stevie Mitchell, and a struggling Yolanda Truman setting fire to the kitchen at home. Here are 13 EastEnders spoilers for what's to come next week. Point 1. Bianca's back. Sonia is surprised when her sister, Bianca, arrives in Walford. Bea and Rice meet for the first time and he's a little taken aback by her OTT approach. Meanwhile, Bianca is worried to hear Zach has gone AWOL. She goes to see Whitney and wants answers. 2. Bianca hunts for the truth. Zach soon arrives home and Bianca bombards him with questions. He tries to avoid answering and eventually he snaps and leaves. He goes to find Whit in the Vic, but they are interrupted by Wida, a mum meeting Whitney to share her son's experience of Usher syndrome. Meanwhile, Bianca finds herself talking to Linda and soon goes back to speak to Zach. Will she find out what's really going on? 3. Bianca gets a job. Vinny hands out flyers advertising the reopening of the cafe. Bernie is tearful to think it's business as normal, despite her brother's body having been buried there. Vinny invites Bernie inside, but she refuses, so Bianca steps in to bag herself a job. She then has a heart-to-heart with Bernie and encourages her to return to work. Point 4. Britney taken away. Whitney thinks things are on the up after a successful meeting with Britney's teacher. However, Rice unwittingly undoes it all by revealing Whit is not Brit's mother. Whitney has no idea this has happened and is stunned when social services arrive. They say they have to take Britney away from her own safety until they can get Keely's confirmation of events. 5. Will Keely help? With Whitney devastated about Britney, Bianca and Zach realize they have to do something. They work together to track Keely down. She meets them at Walford East, but Bianca can't help herself and starts criticizing Keely's parenting. Keely decides Britney would be better off elsewhere. Will Whitney and Zach ever get her back? More EastEnders spoilers. 6. Nadine carries on with her scheme. Nadine turns up and claims she's been kicked out of her house. Lexi is fuming and pretends to be ill to avoid going to school. Billy looks after her and Lexi reveals she saw Nadine drinking and Jay doesn't believe her. Billy tries to talk to Jay, but offends him when he suggests a DNA test. Nadine wants to make amends to organize his drinks in the Vic to win the family round. Will it work? 7. Stevie returns. During Nadine's makeup drinks, Billy gives Honey her new engagement ring. However, the happy moment is interrupted by the arrival of Stevie. Phil and Billy immediately make it clear Stevie is not welcome. As Stevie turns on the charm, Billy leaves, and Phil can see right through the act. But Honey tries to encourage Billy to make amends with his dad. 8. Billy banishes Stevie. After Honey's advice, Billy agrees to talk to Stevie. They have a frank conversation about Billy's childhood, but when talk turns to Jamie, Billy is fuming. He orders his dad out of his life for good. But Honey then steps in and tells Stevie he needs to try harder for a relationship with his son. Point 9. Stevie is suspicious of Nadine. Stevie turns up again the next day and Billy once again makes it clear he's not welcome. Lexi and Honey try to encourage Billy to give Stevie a chance. Billy is adamant he isn't interested in a relationship with his dad. However, Lexi spies an opportunity and takes Stevie to help with Jay. Stevie talks to Nadine, trying to persuade her to get a DNA test. As her behavior starts to make him suspicious, will he expose Nadine's fake pregnancy secret? 10. Yolanda can't cope. Levi expresses concerns about Yolanda not coming to prayer group. But Yolanda totally overreacts, leaving Denise and Patrick blindsided. She rushes off and takes refuge in the laundrette. Yolanda finds solace in Jean as she discusses her crisis of faith. It's not long before she makes a decision and heads home to inform the family. Point 11. Chelsea in danger from Pastor Clayton. Yolanda announces she wants to organize a baptism for Jordan. But before long she clashes with Chelsea over it. Chelsea later makes amends with thrilled Yolanda and agrees to the baptism. When Chelsea then bumps into Pastor Clayton and tells him of the plans, he takes the lead and invites Chelsea to the community center. When Yolanda finds out, she is terrified about Chelsea being alone with the pastor. She rushes there and demands Chelsea leaves. Chelsea is worried and along with Levi, gently asks Yolanda if she is okay. She then tells Patrick she thinks Yolanda needs to see a doctor. 12. Yolanda starts a fire. Meanwhile, Pastor Clayton continues to intimidate Yolanda. She bans him from having a part in Jordan's baptism. That afternoon, Patrick becomes increasingly concerned about his other half when he finds she has let the hob catch fire. Smoke fills the room and the alarm rings, but Yolanda is too distracted by her prayers to notice. Will Patrick work out what's really wrong? 13. Anna visits Eddie in EastEnders spoilers. Anna decides to confront Eddie, despite her family being against it. She discovers Gloria's funeral has been held. Anna worries about how to break the news to George. How will he take it? Please subscribe our channel.